I'd like to call the Personnel Committee to order. Under previous business, approving previous meeting minutes. We have a motion, Mr. Miller, second. Mr. Stevens, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Resolution number 79, I believe, is tabled to request a sponsor.
Sponsor's not here.
Sponsor is not present. Local Law C.
He's not here either.
Sponsor's not here. We'll table by the sponsor. Under current business, item 3, confirming the appointment of the Commissioner of the Department of Public Works. County Executive has appointed Lisa Raimondo, and I just met her in the hallway here. We had a brief discussion about the procedure for confirmation. We'll allow Ms. Raimondo to speak a little bit about her qualifications and desire to be our Commissioner of Public Works. We'll allow the committee to ask questions if they so choose, followed by the entire legislature. With that, I'll introduce Ms. Lisa Raimondo.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm grateful for being considered to serve as Commissioner of the Albany County Department of Public Works. I believe my experience gives me a unique blend of design, budget, leadership, and decision-making skills, which I hope you will find are a good fit for this position. I began my career in public service in 1990. Upon graduating from Union College, I worked for the New York State Department of Transportation. During my 8-year tenure with the department, I earned my professional engineering license and worked as a geotechnical, roadway, and bridge design engineer. I gained a strong understanding of project planning, design, and budgeting. I had the opportunity to work with outside agencies and the public on projects in the inner city and in rural areas. In 1998, I relocated to Charlotte, North Carolina, and continued my career in public service. I was employed by the City of Charlotte's Traffic Engineering Department. I had the opportunity to work with and supervise a diverse group of individuals and was responsible for various traffic calming and roadway improvement projects. In 2015, my family relocated back to New York, and I began working for the Albany County Department of General Services in the Facilities Engineering Department. Here I gained an understanding of county budgets, contracts, and the bid process. I worked on projects from conception through to construction and administered grants as necessary. As Commissioner of the Department of Public Works, I will move forward the mission, vision, and goals of the department. I will be responsive to the legislature and keep you abreast of project budgets and schedules. I will explore efficiencies and reducing waste through implementation of shared services between the state, county, and its municipalities. I have a keen interest in encouraging diversity in the workplace and will work with HR to promote that cause within the department. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all tonight.
Very well. Do we have any questions from the committee? None? I just said your resume is very impressive. It's great to see a PE on staff. I know we only have a few throughout the whole county workforce, and I'm very happy to see that. You have some great experience in project management, which is always a key feature of Public Works Department. I was wondering, have you administered staff before? Have you overseen staff?
When I worked in Charlotte, I oversaw staff. It wasn't to the degree here with 103 people at the DPW, but it was more like 20 people.
Okay.
And had to do personnel, solve personnel issues and things like that among engineering techs and engineers.
Okay. That's fine. It's good. Mr. Miller?
I have a question. You say that you're currently reinstating your license. What's the process for that?
I've already got it. I secured it, yes. When I wrote my resume, it was, I just had to fill out a piece of paper because I had all my requirements fulfilled.
Any other questions from the committee? How about outside the committee? Legislature, Mr. Clay?
No.
None? None at all?
I just one comment. I'm the chairperson of the Public Works Committee, so it's going to be a pleasure working with you.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you.
Very good. Do we have a motion? Mr. Joyce, do we have a second? Mr. Stevens? All those in favor? Those opposed? Congratulations. You are... I was informed that you would be the first woman candidate for Commissioner of Public Works in our 300-plus year history. So congratulations.
Thank
and
you.
April 12th will be the final vote.
I look forward to the opportunity.
We look
Thanks.
forward to working with you. Thank you.
There is somebody here.
Item 4, authorizing the Department of Health to consider out-of-county applicants for the positions of registered nurse and public health nurse. Ms. Miller, how are you? Commissioner Miller, how are you?
Good, nice to see you.
You too, long time.
So our department respectfully requests the ability to do so, to hire outside of the county nurses. We're struggling with finding candidates that are either qualified or interested in the position, and this would allow us to extend that net out a little bit wider and find qualified candidates to do the necessary work of the department.
Usually we ask if there, where have you been advertised and what efforts have you made to recruit?
Sure. We have advertised in the Times-Union, Monster.com, Indeed.com, New York State Nurses Association. We've gone to NYSHO, New York State Association of County Health Officials. We've put something out on their website. We've sent it out to partners. We're still struggling. Public health nurses require baccalaureate degrees by sanitary code requirements, and in addition, a year's experience. And the registered nurses, we're still struggling because we have the state health department in our community, large hospitals, and so it's been difficult to identify and find nurses that are qualified.
Very good. Mr. Miller?
One question, didn't we already approve the public health nurse to go outside the county last month?
That was nursing
That was
home.
a supervisor, I believe.
And it was also nursing home, those positions too, we did last month.
Yeah, I think we did the Department of Health.
Yeah, we did,
months
yeah.
ago. This is a supervisor.
Supervisor only though.
Ms. Lukakis?
Just wondering if this seems to be an overall problem at all levels in the medical field. If there's any way we can consider doing some kind of a scholarship program where the people would have to give back time to us, like the veterans used to. I don't know if they still do it. Used to do it. You pay half of their tuition, and then we get 2 years of service or something. No, just to try to widen the pool and increase diversity. And
It's a good idea. I don't know if we've ever done it in the health department. I believe we have done a similar program in the nursing home a couple of years back, but it may be something to explore. So, Mr. Joyce, did you?
Yeah, actually, she asked the first part of my question, but how far off are our salaries from comparable jobs in Albany County? Are we 10%, 20% lower? I mean, I know it's a real struggle for all county departments, because as soon as we bring people in, they seem to move on to other...
Well, we're off a little bit, and we'd like to look at that a little bit further this year and talk with management and budget and our county executive's office about addressing that in this coming year's budget for the 2018 budget. It varies. I will be honest with you, we had one of our nurses leave, public health nurses leave for a $20,000 raise at the state health department. Now, obviously, that's a little bit more unusual, but we recognize this as something that needs to be addressed, looked at closer, and hopefully we'll be able to do that with the 2018 budget.
Very good. Mr. Drake?
How many positions do you have vacant, roughly?
Right now, we have 2 public health nursing positions vacant. We anticipate another registered nurse position to be vacant due to a maternity.
Do you have high turnover, do you find? Is it that they come and then go, or is it that you just haven't been able to fill them?
Yeah, we don't have a significant turnover rate, although when someone does leave and moves, typically we lose our staff to the state health department, quite honestly. Trying to recruit is very difficult. The type of work we do requires obviously qualified individuals, and they're coming in at the entry level. We do have some steps. There's 4 steps that individuals can attain over 4 years. But if you have 5 years, 10 years of experience in a hospital, and you apply to come down, you're taking a significant decrease.
Would you say then that's the main factor, or are there other factors?
I think that that's one factor. The pull from Albany Medical Center, the various large hospitals, the pull from the
Yeah,
state
that's
health
true.
department, the home care agencies in our area, and the shortage. So I think it's a combination of a
Probably
number
detail
of
a little
things.
bit, give it a raise.
And the requirements, sanitary code requires baccalaureate degree nurses, and there aren't a lot of them. There's registered nurses, but baccalaureate degree nurses, there's a limited number of them in our community.
I imagine you have to pay more for baccalaureate.
Right, that's correct.
A thought that came up, and as others have pointed out, this seems to be thematically, across the medical profession with our jobs anyway. My colleague, Mr. Stevens, brought up that when they hire at the state, there's quite a process that goes into that, and it costs quite a bit of, personnel hours, et cetera. To help you in getting better budget monies for these, you may know this answer, but I was going to recommend, if you haven't already done this, to quantify what it costs to turn over these positions and to hire for them, because it may very well justify those increases on a quantitative basis other than just the qualitative basis that, hey, I can't hire somebody competitively. It's just a thought that I wanted to put out there and that we might suggest to some of the other departments having the same problems.
Very good. Good point. Mr. Miller? We have a motion. Before we make the motion, I do want to point out that we normally will offer these waivers for 1 year, and then you come back and renew if it's still an issue. But usually it's a one-year waiver. I assume the committee wants to stick with that. Mr. Miller, I'll accept your motion with that contingency. Mr. Joyce, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Great seeing you.
Thank you for coming in.
We have motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Thank you.